there's no loneliness like the loneliness within a relationship.
I would agree with that 1,000%. Don't make it all about who's loving you or who's not loving you. Learn to love yourself. That great person is right there. You'll choose the one person who's going to reject you.
This person wrote in, newly married, what is the best piece of advice for a successful marriage? I was curious what you would focus on for that. Welcome, new people. You should know that we are never prepared. We are always wearing sweats. We're never wearing makeup.
I would almost consider myself the MC of this podcast. I am the narrator.
So welcome. We hope you enjoy this.
Okay, guys, if you are single, if you are in a relationship, if you are in a situationship, if you are divorced, thinking about getting divorced, any of the above, okay? This episode is for you. Back on the pod after many attempts, many requests. She is one of the busier experts, I would say. Jillian Turecki. She's a relationship expert. What else can I say about her other than she is an expert in how to have relationships? And I got to be honest, it's hard having relationships. It's hard having relationships with friends, with family, with romantic situations. It's all hard. She is a New York Times best-selling author, and she is host of the Jillian on Love podcast. People just love her. We talk about energy, the importance of being comfortable being single, not giving your power to, the Hallmark holiday of Valentine's Day, and just so much more. I really think this episode, it's for everyone. You're going to, no matter where you are at in life, you will take away so many helpful nuggets in this episode. So enjoy. Okay, Jillian, I'm going to just say it. That episode that we did with you just have a way with people. You just have a way of connecting with people because you're clearly like, you're an expert, you're all the things, but you don't talk at people. You talk in a way that people can digest. I think we're all so overwhelmed and overstimulated by being yelled at and talked at by all these, experts. And it's like, it's hard to digest like that. And you just have a way of, I don't know, making it feel possible. I listen to certain people and I'm like, none of this is possible.
Yeah.
Like,
what I see happening a lot is everything is just so pessimistic about love and relationships that have come out recently.
Mm-hmm.
And again, and also just like in these impossible standards and rules to abide by. So, I'm thrilled to hear that feedback because I definitely want to empower people to know that that they can do these things.
Yeah. I'm not looking at my phone, by the way. I have notes.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
But it's also important to note that this is like probably the most triggering week for people out of the year. Would you say that's correct?
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
It's triggering for certain people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not triggering for me.
Not triggering for me. No, not for me either at all.
No, not for me.
Well, we're talking about the sad singles out there. You know what I mean? It's like,
I'm a sad single.
Or the sad coupled.
Yes. Or a sad couple.
The sad couple is sadder than the sad single because the sad, we always say it, like there's no loneliness like the loneliness within a relationship.
I would agree with that 1,000%.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree. I agree, guys. We all agree.
Yeah.
But it is important, since you guys claim you're not triggered by Valentine's Day, fine. But most people are, right?
Yes.
A lot of people are. And this week is a good week to have an episode dedicated to injecting more positivity, more hope, more excitement. It is, it's a holiday that sort of preys on the vulnerable in the week and makes you feel like you should be coupled up or feeling really romantic. And that's not always how people are feeling. So how do we help them?
Well, one thing is, don't give your power away to a Hallmark holiday.
Yes.
And I know that that's easier said than done, but it has to be said. You do not. You have to, sometimes we really have to put our mind to things and make a decision that we're not going to let that completely ruin our day or our week. So that's number one. Number two, think about how many people are in relationships who are miserable. So celebrate the fact that you're single and you don't have to deal with that stress. Then there's, okay, so you really want a relationship. Let it motivate you to examine whatever beliefs that you might have that might be holding you back from being in a relationship. Let it motivate you to look at some of the strategy you might be using or not using to meet people, and so that you put yourself in a position where you can potentially meet someone. And another reframe would be, make it about loving yourself that day.
It's like when we were growing up, I would say Valentine's Day. Like when I say like, I'm not triggered by Valentine's Day. Maybe I was in my 20s. Do you know what I mean? But we now have so much celebration for Galentine's Day, and we celebrate the empowered, not even woman, but just person. We now celebrate prioritizing yourself.
You know who's really triggered by Valentine's Day?
Who?
The heartbroken.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
But
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the heartbroken's triggered by every fucking day.
Yeah, that's
when
true.
When you are heartbroken,
that's very true.
You're triggered by a Monday.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh, Monday is when we got coffee.
Monday,
that's when we got coffee. And I'm triggered by Tuesday because Tuesday was our night in to watch The Bachelor. Like, whatever it is. Like, being
everything is
heartbroken.
triggering.
Everything is them.
Everything is them, and everything is triggering.
I always say, like, a death would be easier to deal with. A death would be easier to deal with than.
Well, it'd be easier to deal with their death because we just don't talk enough about grieving grieving someone who's still alive. That is just like its own weird,
them not wanting
thing.
To be with you is way worse than them dying.
Yeah,
at least them dying, they don't have a choice.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a point.
Oh, I know what I was saying. I was just saying that it is a better time for my daughters now than it was for us growing up. We now have open conversations about, guys, don't get into a relationship until you fully know yourself. Don't get into a relationship until you've done the work to be securely attached. If you're an anxiously attached person and you're going to go get in a relationship, good fucking luck to you.
Though I'm going to push back a little bit on that. Can I?
Okay. Yes, please.
There's no such thing as healing first and then being in a relationship.
There's not?
No, that doesn't happen. Okay.
So why am I telling myself that?
So because not everything is so binary. There's a spectrum. Are there people who could really benefit from taking a time out from dating and being in a relationship to focus on themselves, to heal, to work on themselves? Absolutely. But there's only so much that we can do alone. It's very easy to feel peaceful when you are alone, and no one is there to trigger you. We do not know who we actually are unless we are in relationship with others. Because every person in your life, romantic and otherwise, family, otherwise, they're holding up a big mirror. Like, there's no way to know who we are without experiencing who we are with other people.
And seeing how our issues affect other people and how we have to change to stop that from happening.
Or how to be in real time frustrated, tired, overwhelmed, and actually having to communicate. Yeah.
It's so much work, you guys. It's so much work.
I was just going to say, I feel like I'm in such a healthy marriage, but I'm tested constantly. And so is Simon, because it's like we're forced to deal with our shit over and over again. We're forced to have a bad day and still want to connect, still want to be intimate. Me give him the love the way that he wants it. And when he needs it, and then him learn how to give it to me the way that I need it, giving each other space when we don't want to, giving each other grace when we don't want to.
Yeah.
It's so challenging to continue to be a patient, loving, understanding person when you're having good days and bad days.
But it shouldn't be so, the work of a relationship shouldn't be exhausting you every day. The good should far outweigh the bad.
Yes.
Or the easy should far outweigh the challenge.
I just mean, it's so interesting. I find that the healthiness of the relationship is why it's challenging, because you can't hide behind a toxic dynamic. You can't hide behind anything really. Like, he doesn't give me any reasons to not show up for him. So I have to. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
it
that
doesn't
makes
give any
sense.
reasons for me to be a bitch and say like, well, I'm not fucking doing that for you. Like, he shows up, so I have to show up like a healthy version of myself. And so you can't really, I don't know. I just remember relationships that were unhealthy. You could throw your hands up and storm out and like not want to work on it. But when you're in a good relationship, you really have to be there and be present.
Yeah. You have to care about the relationship and you have to value the relationship enough to increase your capacity for more.
And it is fun. It's not like it's, it's exciting to get to be able to do that for somebody.
Erin, if you come home from work and you're like, and let's say hypothetically, he really needs your attention. He needs to talk to you about this. He's like, I want to go for a walk. And you're just exhausted. Okay. And all you want to do is take a hot shower, put a face mask on, and get in bed and like scroll Instagram. Is he going to give you shit for that?
I would say it's a push-pull. I would say that there are times where Simon is able and willing to be like, I'm going to push that thing I had because I can tell you really like need to go for a walk. And then there's also times where he asks for something and I'm willing to, stop what I'm doing because we communicate well. So he'll say like, I really need you to connect with me in this way. And I would say sometimes I'm like, I'm so tired. Like, it's the last thing I want to do. And he gets it. And other times you sacrifice and then you're happy you did it.
Right. Because I'm just sitting here going, I'm just looking for someone who's not going to make me go on a fucking walk. Like, if I don't want to go on a walk, like,
here's the thing, Sarah, is you sometimes need someone to make you go on the walk. Like I'm sorry, I'm not the expert. I'm just saying in my relationship, it's a push-pull. There's no rules for it, right? Like sometimes I give in, sometimes he gives in, but usually it's we're both better for it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely. Completely. I think it's allowing your partner to influence you.
Yeah. That's such a good point.
Allowing your partner to be a positive influence on your life.
It's such an interesting way of saying it because there was so many relationships that I was in where I used to think this person doesn't take my opinion into consideration. This person doesn't let me influence a decision that they're making. And it's such a different, closer experience when you both value each other's input.
Oh,
it's a
absolutely.
big part of a relationship that people don't talk about.
I think it's a huge part of a relationship because, first of all, it builds trust and it builds closeness. It's like if you're not going to it's not like you have to take every piece of advice, but if you're not going to let your partner influence some of your decisions and take some of their advice, then what are you even with them for? Like then you're basically saying, I don't value any of your input. And that's a terrible thing. So accepting people's influence is incredibly important because it's also very rejecting. You're like constantly giving advice and input and they just will not, or like whatever it is. It doesn't have to be about any major thing, but like the walk. And it's just like everything is a no. Then you're just going to feel totally rejected.
Okay, well, everything is a no. Like, yeah, that's not healthy. So do you reject this narrative that people meet their person when they're in the best place and they're in physical, shape and they like, whatever
question.
shape means to them?
Yeah.
Or do you reject? Because I think we tell our audience.
I don't reject it. I think that, no, you can meet someone who you're going to be in a relationship with when you're in a terrible place. But is that going to be a great relationship? Probably not.
Why would that person, what's that person drawn to, right?
And what are you drawn to in them when you're in that state? I do believe that everything is energy. And I do think that when we are in a good place, we tend to be more open. And the more open we are, the more we let people in and let ourselves have new experiences. So so that's valuable. What I reject is you have to be this perfectly healed, whole person who's happy all the time, and then you'll meet the one. So it's the two extremes that I reject. If you're a mess, you're probably going to meet another hot mess. you know? And
or
so
someone who loves to like save the mess.
Oh, someone who loves to save the mess, who's in their own way a mess.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that, so again, there have been definitely people I've told, like, it's timeout time. It's timeout time. Like you need a minute, because also I really think that it's very important to be comfortable with being single, because if you're not, then you're not very discerning when you meet someone. And so I think all of that has value. And let's not put the pressure on ourselves that we have to be perfect, because do you know how many times people say to me, I felt so good when I was single. I was so healed. I was living my best life. And then I met this person. And now, I'm noticing my insecurities come up. I'm noticing these things come up. And they think something is wrong. It's like, no, welcome to the arena.
Right. That's when the relationship starts.
Yeah.
Show
that's
me
when the relationship
one person who does not start a new relationship and does not, start looking at things they weren't looking at before. Like the first couple weeks of cohabitating together, you're in the same bed. Are we showering together? Oh, wait, I have cellulite. Okay, I didn't get a spray tan. Like, fuck. I mean, who?
Yeah.
What kind of person is just like, yeah, I don't. That's some evolved shit that I've never experienced.
Yeah, no, it's a lot. And I think that, especially for women in their perfectionism, like you mentioned, cellulite, things like that is something that women always have to kind of wrestle with and learn really how to love themselves, because it's that fear that makes it so that she really can't have good sexual experiences.
Of course.
Because
if you're thinking about cellulite, you're not having an orgasm.
If you're thinking about your being good enough in any way, or you're self-conscious in any way, then it's totally a wrap for women.
So funny. I have a friend, she's like, I don't know, 47 or something, and she's single, and she was like, I'm really insecure about my knees. And I'm like, honey, when he is like bending you over, he ain't thinking about your knees.
Does
like,
not care about your knees.
Like, he does not give a shit. He is not looking at your knees. And
No.
she's like, she called me a couple of days later. She's like, I needed to hear that. I really needed to hear that, because I was being like, inhibited. And we all know that the key to good sex is being uninhibited. That's what good sex is. You talk to any guy, like, why, what was good about it? And they're like, it was just free. It was just free. When you're, when you're like, oh, no, don't look at that. There's nothing hot about that. Like you could have, I just have to say, there are supermodels, okay, that you and I would look at and go, these are the sexiest, most gorgeous, perfect, no cellulite, not a wrinkle, not anything.
They're insecure too.
And there are guys that are like, it was the worst sex of my life.
Yeah, because first of all, let's take the focus away from men and the good sex that men are having or not having. And let's focus on the fact that it's very hard for women to have good sex because men are not actually focusing on her enough. And so it's a two-part thing. I mean, so Sarah, just to address that point, because it's not about, in that moment, when we're in the act, it's really not about looks, it's about energy. 1000%. It's something primal is taken over, and it's not about perfection in the bed. It's about being receptive. It's about connection. It's about synergy. It's about presence. And so those things are 10 times more important than anything else. And good sex is always about, the best sex always happens between two people who are fully present with each other without question.
It's so true, which is why I think familiar sex doesn't get the same attention that new sex does, but I feel the opposite. I mean, new sex to me, we're with a new person. I've never experienced in a really, intense way, because I'm I'm not used to the person yet, so I'm not relaxed.
Yeah.
And sex with a partner who you really know well, like in a marriage, to me, has the potential to be the greatest sex of your life.
Totally.
That's the person who should know every single thing that you like or don't like.
Yeah. I think a lot of people say, I mean, the first time you sleep with someone is not really, I mean, that doesn't usually go very well, does it? I mean, it's never usually like amazing. No,
Yeah, you guys, you don't think guys are enjoying it more than women? And
some men are not. No, some men are not. Like, trust me, they're insecure too. And it's awkward for them too, especially if he really likes you.
Right.
If he actually likes
perform.
You. Yeah, exactly. It's to perform and he wants to be, yeah. So everyone's insecurities.
But I think that so many people say, a lot of people say that you reach your sort of sexual peak in your 40s as a woman. And that I never understood that. I was always like,
it's actually a lot of women are saying 50s.
Oh, 50s now. Right now it's 50s. And I'm like, I think it's 40s, because I'm always polling. I love a poll. I love to poll guys. I love to poll girls. And I was talking to a guy friend of mine.
Poll.
I don't know.
I was like poll. I was like, pull hair. Okay.
You're like, okay, you freak.
I was like, I love it.
And a guy was telling me, he was telling me like he met this girl and she's blah, 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 and she's older. And I was like, what's so great? And he's like, she knows exactly what she wants and doesn't want during sex. And she tells me. And he's like, and it drives me crazy. He's like a 25-year-old, a 35-year-old. I've never experienced being like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, and it was so hot. And I was like, the way he was talking about this woman who was like late 40s, I was like, okay, like confidence. So ladies, all of our young gals, our 25, 30, you can't fake experience for sure, but it's just a good reminder to start like listening to what we're saying and let it resonate a little bit.
And for all the men out there who are listening, be present with her, aim to please her rather than you just thinking about getting off, and be really, really, really present with her. And women are constantly
impress you.
Yeah, women are pleasers. Like we're just like, we try to nurture, we try to please, and we're so conditioned. Like, how can I actually make this a great experience for him? And I think it's created a lot of lazy lovers in men.
For sure.
How much of it is ego though for women? I know for me, it's like
that's part of your conditioning.
Yeah, I've definitely experienced like less about the actual moment and more about like, oh, I would want him to go tell people like, oh, she's really good. You know what I mean? It's like ego. It's like
but that's something you have to, and that's something you would want to
deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, Sarah, you always talk about how a woman looks. Like you always talk about the physical. And it's so funny because you have the physical. And for some reason you still focus on that, even though that part is a win. It's like if you were to pair your physical appearance with being relaxed in your body and knowing it, it's like you'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
I'd be a raging prostitute is what I would be.
You would be
a raging. You'd probably just enjoy.
Yeah.
All right. Sarah and I didn't know what to expect when we were doing an Airbnb experience because we're not really like experienced gals. We're
trying to be though. We're trying to be.
But we had, not to, no pun intended, a really great experience. We went and we decided to make jewelry. Okay. So it forced us to sit there together, not be on our phones, connect. It felt like it honestly kind of felt like a girls' sleepover in 5th grade. Like I haven't had an adult experience that felt very bonding and fun in the middle of the day before.
I think we get so accustomed to just living our life the way we live. We're on our phones. We go to work. We'll FaceTime a friend. It's like we have to sometimes stop and have someone else help facilitate an experience. I would have never in a million years, if Airbnb didn't have this experience, I would have never been like, hey, Erin, let's go to Silver Lake and make jewelry. It just would have never occurred to me. Cut to, it was one of the more
Cut to, I couldn't get you to leave.
No. It was one of the more healing hours I had had. We're in this like greenhouse. It is absolute tranquil. You hear the birds chirping. She has some nice music on. And when you're using your hands, there's just something very therapeutic about that. I want to go back. I want to take the girls. It was just.
It was really cool. And it's just indicative of what happens when you go outside of your comfort zone and you come up with an experience to have with friends. I mean, it could be even on a date. If you're in a new city, if you're visiting a city, instead of just going and sitting in a restaurant and staring at each other, or instead of always saying like, let's go drink, just go and have an experience, a tactile experience where you might walk out of there with something you made and you bond with other people and it's unique.
Okay, there was another experience we were going to do. We'll end up doing it at some point, but it was making the most famous Thai dishes. So that's another Airbnb experience. You can go to this restaurant and they will show you, I think it was like how to make 5 of the, most flavorful, authentically Thai dishes. So I think that one we should do next.
They have a lot of them. Also making pizza. Saw Tinks did that. Anyway, there's very cool experiences.
There's also hikes and things for people that are in, have better physical endurance than us.
Yeah, we were interested in the ones where you sat most of the time.
We wanted to sit, yeah.
Anyway, check out Airbnb and see what experiences are available for your next trip. Just think about how many times you've brought up the same health concern with your doctor only to like end up feeling really rushed through the appointment.
You mean like every time?
Yep. Because there's just like, they say that there's never enough time for anything, and then you can't get into the like nuances of what's going on with you. And so Hers is a company that is rethinking the outdated healthcare system. It's finally giving women what they deserve, which is care that's convenient, supportive, built around their real needs, and backed by experts in women's health.
I feel like we can sit around and we can talk about all the reasons why and get annoyed, but it's just the reality. Doctors are overworked, they're understaffed, like things have just changed, and you have to advocate for yourself as the patient. So it's amazing that companies like Hers are here, and it's just, we got to utilize it.
Yeah. So basically you start with a free online medical intake form that goes beyond basics so that you can really explain what you're experiencing. And if something feels off, but you really just don't even know what that is, then Hers also offers access to in-depth lab testing to get you real clarity on what the thing is that you're dealing with. If you're eligible, a licensed medical professional will determine right for you treatment plan options that go beyond just medicine with diet and lifestyle guidance. So Hers supports care across categories like weight loss, hair regrowth, menopause, labs, and like a million other things.
Guys, let me tell you, here's what you want to utilize this for. I promise. Start your hormone replacement therapy through them. Also, hair regrowth. Okay. That's an issue, guys. It's an issue that we're not talking about enough. Hair loss, hair regrowth, all the things. And Hers can support you there. Obviously, all your labs, weight loss, all the things that us lovely women get to go through.
So also the thing that Hers talks about that really connects for me is the feeling that you get when you feel like something's off in your body, but you can't get a straight answer on what it's about. And the lab results come back saying you're totally fine, but deep down you just know that there's something that's off. That like loop of uncertainty is exhausting. And Hers is directly focusing on that for women. Yeah. And it's how so many people feel.
With Hers, they are going through 130 biomarker tests that are really going to give you meaningful insight into your health and results that are going to make it easy for you to understand what is actually going on with your body.
So if you want clearer insight into your health, go to hers.com and schedule your labs today. That's FORHERS.com, forhers.com.
Oh, guys, there's so much I want to talk about. Where should we
let's
keep
look at
going?
the questions because we have lots of questions.
I know.
You've talked about the importance of realizing that how someone treats us is a reflection of their emotional capacity, not our worth.
Yeah.
We get into that.
Yeah. So I focus on that and wrote about that because of people who are hanging on to how dad treated them, how mom treated them, how their ex treated them, like if there was any sort of betrayal. And it's not to say that we don't have a role in, our life is our responsibility. Like we have a role in everything, and I also wrote that actually just the stranger on the street who maybe rages on you or like is just rude to you, whatever. The person at the, if they're, again, it's like someone's in a bad mood, like the way that we treat others. Yes, it's a reflection of our value system. It's a reflection of our mood in any given day. It's a reflection of our emotional capacity. And it's just not always personal. Most people are walking around living in autopilot, completely unaware of their patterns. And that's just how it goes. And so,
well, by the way, road rage is the perfect example of that. You know what I'm saying?
Like, that's exactly what I thought of.
Of course, it's not personal. You're in a car. You don't even know what you look like. We've never met, but you can literally show your worst self to one of those drivers. Like we've all freaking been there, and you end up seeing red. By the way, totally unrelated, but I now do a thing where if I like piss off somebody, they honk at me, they give me the bird, I go sorry. And it automatically diffuses the situation. So
when you kill them with kindness, right? When you're just sweet about it. Oh yeah, no, it is the best trick in the book.
Because it's not intimate, like because you don't know this person, but because you don't know the person, it's so much easier to apologize. It's so much harder to apologize to someone you know.
Yeah, I know, because your ego's involved. Totally.
Exactly.
Yes,
exactly.
Totally. And I just thought about my own journey through letting go of whatever grievances I had towards my father, letting go. Like a lot of people have asked me, well, how do you have no residual sadness or like frustration or anger or anything from like, how your ex broke up with you? And I do believe that like final frontier, like as a lot of people said, like the final stage of healing is forgiveness. Mm-hmm. It's like, I don't know if it's that, because I don't think that you necessarily should forgive someone who terribly abused you.
Agree.
I don't think so. But so to me, the final frontier, if you will, of like letting go and true healing is understanding that it wasn't about you. So you no longer internalize it and continue to live a story that tells you that you are less than because of what someone did to you.
Amen.
And then that changes, then you're really free.
Yeah. I want to ask you, well, first of all, I need to talk to you for like 8 hours, but how can people sort of get their life together and rebound quicker after a breakup? And I don't want to generalize because I have girlfriends who literally get their heart broken, find out the guy's cheating. They thought they were going to marry him. And then a week later, they're like, I'm going on a date. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I love that for them.
Oh,
because I feel like that's what men do, but women are like, they wallow for years. In fact, it's a fact. They'll like, it's an average of 7 years.
But what?
I know. Yeah. Women wallow. Men jump into the next relationship too quickly and women tend to wallow too long.
Okay. 7 years is extreme. I mean, I guess depending on how long someone is together, but what are some ways that we as women, and a majority of our listeners are women, but we can talk to men too, but how can you, it doesn't mean don't mourn. It doesn't mean don't grieve. It doesn't mean don't journal. It doesn't mean don't
process, see your part. Yeah.
Yes. How can we just get over it faster?
I know. It's the $1 million question.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. I think it's hard for women. But you just named some examples of friends who so let's dissect them a little bit. What's their belief system? Why do you think they were able to do it? Was it that they weren't with the person that long or they weren't into that person?
Yeah. No. She was so into this person. They lived together.
Okay.
She has high self-esteem.
Okay.
Do you think that there's a connection between having high self-esteem and I don't know.
And the high self-esteem is believing that like it's still possible for you. I mean, does she reflect at all? Does she reflect? Does she have that capacity for self-reflection? Does she do that?
She's an athlete, so she probably just has like a different kind of...
Okay, so there you go. She's an athlete. Brain. So athletes are very conditioned to be like, you know what? when someone knocks you down, you get up and you keep going.
Right. And it's like a belief system since you're a child that you've had. Yeah.
And that's why athletes tend to, tend to do very well. A lot of athletes do very well in life because of that. Actually.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
When we're talking about how to get over someone and also how to sort of, how most people want to speed up, like meeting the right person. To me, the whole bettering yourself, it's not a guarantee that you will get over somebody or that you will meet the right person. But for me, I always felt that whatever is in your control is the thing you should be doing. If you can control traveling, distracting yourself, working out, doing something interesting at work, pouring your energy into friendships, feeling positive, having a good attitude, to me, those things are innately going to bring you closest to the person that would be right for you because you're being the best version of yourself. And it's what you have in control at that moment. I had a girlfriend who was in a situation that was like just destroying her and she couldn't find her way out. And I said to her, you're not going to figure out this relationship and you're not going to stop going back to this person. So look in a completely different area of your life. Go figure out your work life. Go figure out your worth somewhere else.
Yeah.
And when you fix that, of course, there's no guarantee that you can meet the person, but aren't you giving yourself the best chance?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then because also when you go through a difficult breakup, especially if you feel rejected, you kind of you've like lost touch or forgotten who you are outside of this relationship. And sometimes
and you've lost all sense a lot of the time of your belief system in yourself. Because then you start going, wait a minute, I'm not cool. I'm not smart. I'm not attractive. I'm not worthy. I'm not interesting. I'm not because this person didn't want to be with me.
Yeah.
So these things that I thought I was, maybe I'm not.
Yeah. I mean, it's a real like crisis of identity. And I think it's always a good thing to work on the parts of yourself that has nothing to do with what you look like and has more to do with developing empathy, compassion, purpose, all the things that actually are what make a human being interesting and attractive beyond the physical.
And I'll add one more thing to that.
Yeah.
Get really good at listening and asking questions, because I always thought that in order for me to be the most interesting person at the table or the most interesting person in the conversation or whatever, was being the loudest and having the most to say, because I was like, oh, I'm going to show how smart I am and how I know so much about, politics and foreign policy. That's an annoying person.
Yeah,
the person I remember at a dinner table is the person that asks a lot of questions, and not like weird nosy questions, but smart questions.
Yes.
Like we
and
don't
listens.
Yes. So I would say if you're in your 20s, 30s, fuck any age, but really like we just love talking to our younger audience to just, like not do the same dumb shit that we did. Like get really like practice the next time you go to a dinner party or even like a date, like practice this like real listening and don't be phony about it. Like actually fucking listen.
Yeah.
And ask interesting questions. I mean, hell, go on ChatGPT. Say, I'm going on the first date. Give me some interesting like questions. Give me like, I don't know, maybe that's bad advice, but just to get you started, to get you thinking.
Yeah. And I'll actually add to that advice for the younger girls who are listening. Then share about yourself and make it a conversation. So you ask questions, they say something, and then you're like, oh, that's really interesting. What was that like? I remember when So you're not just, because a lot of times when girls are on dates, especially with guys, she'll do all those questions and then he's just talking about himself. And so I want girls to talk about themselves as well.
You guys, we should create like a question guide. I'm sure this exists, but like our version of a question guide for a first date.
Yes.
Like you know how you make notes? I always have a docket that I have running for our podcast episodes. We should literally write your guide to, your question manual for your first date. And I think that's totally fine.
Oh yeah. I love that.
Okay, you have a book. It begins with you, the 9 hard truths about love that will change your life.
Yeah.
And you have a workbook coming out. Can you just tell us about the workbook? Because it kind of makes me think of the workbook when you're saying, guides to date questions.
Yeah. So I have, my book, It Begins With You. And at the end of every chapter, there's like some questions to kind of guide the reader deeper into themselves. But a lot of people were like, I want to go even deeper into this. I want to like really get like roll up my sleeves. So I decided to do an accompanying workbook to really help people ask themselves the very difficult questions so that they can really get to the heart of each truth in because it begins with you, the 9 hard truths about love that will change your life. So like there's the workbook helps you get even deeper into each truth.
Oh, I love
Sarah,
this.
as someone who's sort of on the brink of needing to open up, romantically, be open to a new person, and you seem,
Pretty close.
I'd say 100% closed off. I mean, would you like, maybe just give a little bit of insight on like, I think a lot of people probably feel like you do, which is, there's like the hopeful bunch and the closed off bunch, right? The hopeful bunch are like looking for their partner in everybody that they interact with. And then the closed off bunch were like, suggesting Sarah goes on a date, she could fly into a rage.
So many people are closed off. Oh man, it's so bad right now.
Why is it so bad? I mean, I was like this when I was 20, so it's like this is just a personality flaw for me.
Yeah, and I think it's all that's self-protection. I think that when people get hurt, the natural thing, the instinct is, because we want to protect ourselves from pain, is to armor up. But the only problem, though, is that in order to actually build a connection with someone else, you have to be vulnerable. And a lot of people are completely afraid of being hurt again. And, I was just speaking to a friend yesterday, and she's a neuroscientist, and she's been in 2 marriages. Her last marriage, he passed away, and she absolutely loved him. But she's been working very hard for the last 2 years, like to open up her heart and to be very, very open. And she met someone, and she says it's the most important thing. You just can't close. And a lot of people, that's really their work, is like, how do I actually open up again and let myself be vulnerable again?
I wonder if there's a connection to social media. It's kind of like we now it's like every man and woman has a fucking dating app, like not a dating app, but they're their own madam on Instagram. You can get in touch with anyone. Like, I think we now sort of just go like dating isn't even safe, because at any given time you have access to talking to like 1,000 people. I don't know. It's like, I wonder if there's any connect. I've never seen a dating app before, but
yeah, no, I think there's definitely a connection. And I think, it's just, there's just so much easy access to all of that. And I think that a lot of people just like, it's hard to trust anyone.
All right, I'm going to just get right to it, guys. All magnesium is not created equal. If you listen to the pod, you know that I scream from the rooftops the importance of magnesium. I mean, there are benefits. Okay, I shouldn't say there's not one person that shouldn't be taking magnesium, but I do check with your doctor. But I do believe that magnesium is for everybody. I think we associate it with only sleep, which, let me tell you something. The Qualia Magnesium Plus puts you in a sleep that I cannot even explain to you. But here are the other things that magnesium is doing. You are sleeping better. You are thinking sharper. You are recovering faster. You are supporting your muscle strength. You are having a steadier mood and stress response. You have better energy and your metabolism. It is not just a sleep supplement, okay? This is a full body magnesium system built for modern living, to live your best life, to feel your best every day, okay? It is time to improve your sleep and enhance your recovery with Qualia Magnesium Plus. So, experience the most trusted magnesium for purity, potency, and performance. Plus, it is non-GMO, vegan, and gluten-free, making it a choice you can feel good about. Go to qualialife.com/ WFP for 50% off. You guys, that's half off, okay? Yes, 50% off is half off. And that is an amazing deal. So here is the bonus. Use the code WFP for an additional 15% off your order. That is QUALIA life.com/WFP and use the code WFP. Thanks to Qualia for sponsoring this episode. Oh, Caraway, Caraway, Caraway. Oh, how I just absolutely love you. These are the only pots and pans. Really, these are my latest purchase. I just did a little bit of a refresh because I wanted this new color that they had. The Caraway pots and pans, forget that they are non-toxic kitchenware, but they're gorgeous. It's almost like art in your kitchen. It just makes your kitchen look a little bit more chic. Caraway, the safe, non-toxic cookware featuring a non-stick and non-toxic ceramic cooking surface. Perfect for any cooking style. It is the #1 rated cookware set that is free of PT, FEs, and toxic metals. You guys, ever since I was told, and then it all made sense, that when we are cooking food on high heats into our, pots and pans, we are cooking whatever is in those pots and pans into our food. It's just like, it makes perfect sense. And it's just something that apparently we just never thought about. But now we know. Now we have the science. Now we understand how bad it is to not be using the right cookware. They have really fun add-ons like butcher blocks made of like thick premium wood surfaces crafted with walnut and maple wood. Their cutting boards, you guys, are epic. Now it is time for you to try it. Caraway's cookware set is a favorite for a reason. It can save you up to $190 versus buying the items individually. Plus, if you visit carawayhome.com/foster10, you can take an additional 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/foster10 or use code foster10 at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic kitchenware made modern. Oh, ladies and gentlemen who are listening who have kids, I don't know about you, but maybe you are giving your kids, all the fruits, all the veggies, the broccoli, the greens, the superfoods for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I am most definitely not. Therefore, I do supplement with the perfect multivitamin, okay? Smarty Pants, it is the leading brand of children's gummy multivitamins. They are designed to support your kids' daily nutrition with formulas that are equal parts science-backed and easy and very enjoyable to take. Okay, so this product is solving the common problem of getting our kids to take their vitamins by offering, they taste good. They are delivering 33% more nutrients than the second leading product. Okay, so we're not naming names here, but the Smarty Pants Kids Multi and Omegas, they are delivering a focused blend of 6 nutrients to support the brain health, and it is scientifically formulated to help fill average nutrition gaps. It is a smart choice for parents looking for trusted yet enjoyable ways to support your kids' health. You know what I do? Of course, starting new things is not easy, but if you just make it part of their routine, like brushing your teeth, you put it on the breakfast table and it just goes right next to their cup of water or juice or whatever you're giving them. And it just becomes like second nature taking the vitamins. And the vitamins, they really are kind of a non-negotiable at this point. Okay, so choose Smarty Pants, the smart choice for kids. Shop on Amazon or Target or Walmart today. Someone wrote in and said, what would you say to people who argue they're too old to find love or are too burnt out?
I'm so curious, like how old this person is.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
what
probably,
do they
by the
think
way, they're
is too
36.
old?
They're 36 for sure.
I know. It's just total bullshit.
But isn't it funny, you guys, that at 35, I felt like my life is over. I'm 35.
But that's society conditioning.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
No, but at 35, I was like, my life is over. It's never going to happen for me. I'm never going to be attractive to anybody. And now at 45, I'm like, oh, my life is just beginning. Isn't that crazy how that happens? How it takes that sort of decade to, I don't know.
Yeah, because I don't think we have enough examples of just people talking about that as long as you're physically healthy, the later chapters of your life, after 40 into 60s and 70s can actually be some of the best years of your life.
It was my birthday yesterday, and I almost wanted to take like a bikini photo, you guys. I didn't do it, as you could tell, but I literally wanted to take like a hot ass picture and be like, dear 35-year-olds, it's going to be okay. Like, I'm 45 today. Like this is natural. I work hard. I'm fucking happy. I'm all the things. And I was like, oh, I can't deal with Erin's, like.
By the way, I love you saying that you turned 45 yesterday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Because you never want to say your age. And I think it's like, you should be so proud to look good and be your age. Like,
yeah,
it's like, you
you're
should.
in your prime.
Yeah. And you have a lot to say for being 45. It's not like, oh, I'm 45 and I haven't accomplished anything that I wanted to. It's like you're 45 and you've accomplished probably far more than you ever even imagined you could accomplish.
No,
so it's
totally.
Like, you should be proud.
But it is funny that now I'm kind of like, oh yeah, like I don't care, whatever. But at 35, I was like ashamed to be like, I'm 35. I mean, it's crazy what a decade can do.
It is crazy. I think, you know what I think that is? Because I was like that too at 35. I think it's also like the pressures to like have a family and like you're supposed to know exactly, like you are officially an adult and you should know exactly what you want to do for work and you should totally have your life together. And really that tends to now, I really think that, I don't actually think it's now. I think overall, like things really don't entirely start to fall into place and in terms of knowing who you are and what makes you happy until your 40s.
Totally. And like the women that I look up to are in their like 50s.
Mm-hmm.
I would say the women that I kind of look to go like, that's who I want to be, like professionally, even physically, the relationship. Like I don't look at Hailey Bieber. I don't look up to Hailey Bieber. Like she's gorgeous and she's incredible and she's done so many amazing things, but I don't like look at a picture of her and go like, oh.
No,
like
you're looking at the older women. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like,
This person wrote in, newly married, what is the best piece of advice for a successful marriage? I was curious what you would focus on for that.
Be patient and kind to each other. Be patient. Be kind. Play. Make sure you play with each other. Like you have some play time, whatever that play is. I'm not just talking about sexually, but like keep having fun and keep being playful with one another.
What does that mean? Like wrestling?
I mean, it could be
being light and laughing.
And I'm like,
I think being light and kind of like, being a little silly with each other, or it could mean like for certain couples, if they're really into certain sports or anything like that, doing sports together, whatever it is that's like kind of fun for them.
Like playful.
Yeah, being playful.
Yeah.
And just being very, very kind and patient with each other. I mean, there's obviously more that I could say, but I think that's actually really important because a lot of people stop being kind to each other.
What do you guys think about like Tommy always says this. He's like, I always hear him like saying to our daughters, and I know it's like shots fired at me, but he's like, he's like, girls, be sure to find someone who likes to do the same things as you. So if you like to hike, you should definitely, find someone who also likes to hike. I'm like, okay, he's like,
not necessarily though.
Oh no, because I'm not trying to hike, and he was always trying to hike. It's definitely pointed. But how much do you think that's important? Like, what if you do find someone who loves to rock climb and that's what they want to do every weekend, and you're kind of like, I don't like rock climbing, but I fucking love you, but like I don't like rock climbing. You know what I mean?
I think totally. I think it depends on the couple. I mean, the reality is that the differences are what make a relationship interesting, and the differences are kind of what creates attraction. And I think as long as there's some things that you like to do in common, it helps if they're like an Alex Honnold or whatever his name is, like it kind of helps that his wife is also a rock climber. I don't think you can be in a relationship with someone like that and not also be in that world.
Well, first of all, you guys, that guy is crazy. Does he actually not have a harness? Sorry, but that guy's crazy.
No, I know. That's insane.
I think it's important that you want to spend a weekend the same way. I really do.
Yeah.
I really do. And I think it's important you want to vacation the same way. There's different kinds of people. If one person wants to sit with their book and the other one really wants to like be super active, like I really do think that makes a difference in a marriage. You're spending a lot of time together in best case scenario.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to spend time the same way, then you kind of don't see each other that much. And I do think you start to carve out different lives. Like I watching you and Tommy, Sarah, I do think that you guys don't have enough in common with like how you like lifestyle choices. And you, by the way, you did in your 20s, right? Like sometimes at one point in your life, you're more aligned with someone than at another point in your life. And like Simon and I both work full time. We're both really busy. If we didn't both want to get in bed and watch Traitors together, it would be a problem. Like, because that's our quality time. Like we want to spend weekends the same way.
Yeah,
and
that's a compatibility.
I'm looking for someone who just wants to nap. You know, I want to like.
But to that point, I had a boyfriend who couldn't chill, and it was
that's like the worst thing for me.
It was so unattractive to me because I just thought like that I connect by chilling. I connect by sitting on the couch and just like shooting the shit and eating on the couch and watching. That's just how I connect. And this person, the second the alarm would go off, he would like have his feet on the floor before I opened my eyes. I'm like, you got
very hard.
So I do think it really does matter that you have things in common.
but our now mutual best friend, because Erin fucking steals all my friends, she has a partner who wakes up at the crack of dawn. He meditates, he goes to the gym, he does all those things while she sleeps. And like,
no, that's okay.
It's great. It's fine.
Because you have
but
to
he
look
can chill. He can also chill.
Yeah, you got to look at the relationship through a wider lens. Like, is it, but can he also chill? You know, like, you don't have to be on the exact same complete schedule. I mean, there's got to be some differences as long as there's enough similarities that you can both enjoy each other's company on a regular basis.
We got to finish answering the question because we sidetracked when we were trying to figure out how old the person was writing in. But what would you say to people who argue they're too old to find love or are too burnt out?
Often the burnout comes from what's going on in the mind. So it's coming from the expectation that it should be easy to meet someone, and it's taking longer for you to meet someone, and that's exhausting you. Or you have put so much focus on dating and meeting someone that you're not putting any focus on the parts of your life that give your life meaning. So either way, it's a shift of focus. So figure out if you're burnt out from dating, why? Are you focusing too hard on it? Are you focusing so much on the fact that like it's taking too long? Because it's almost always is a shift that has to happen in your thinking.
Yeah. What would you say to women that say there's no good guys out there?
It's so funny. I just recently did a podcast episode on this. I would say that's bullshit. I would say that that's bullshit. Look, I think there's obviously a lot of crappy people out there, and you may have to kiss a lot of frogs before you kiss the prince, or you might meet people that are not that great. But when we say something that like there's no good guys out there, then that, you have to think about how ridiculous that statement is. Like, of course that is not true.
I also think what you put out is what you get. So if you put out into the universe, there's no good guys, there's no good guys. Oh, they're all da da da. You think you're going to meet a great guy?
You're going to keep getting those shitty guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
And maybe you're attracted to the not so nice ones.
I was going to say, there are good guys out there. You don't want to be with them.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to know that you have to decide what you want. There are plenty of guys out there that will make you feel crazy and make you doubt yourself and make you
Yep.
wonder and keep you guessing and keep you really deeply engaged.
Yes.
And then there are a lot of guys out there who are decent and good and going to be emotionally available and present with you. And I really do think you have to become ready for that.
Yes.
It's a totally different experience.
Yes.
And by the way, it's 10,000 times, I can't even say better than the first experience I described, because the first one is not good at all. There's
No,
nothing about it that's good.
No, nothing about it is good at all. And most people are re-engaging in that because they're actually incredibly bored and it's a habit. But yeah, I think that it's like sometimes that great person is right there and you just you'll choose the one person who's going to reject you.
Somebody
over and
wrote
over
in
again.
and somebody said, why do we romanticize the person who didn't choose us?
Oh, because I talk about that a lot. Because, well, if you're in a relationship with them and you're heartbroken, the mind has very selective memory. So we just replay sort of like the highlight reel as opposed to remembering how fucking hard it was, and then romanticizing the person that didn't choose you. You know, we tend to put people on pedestals and we think, you know, for whatever reason, oh, they have a great job or they look like this, you know, we tend to think this is a high value person and then they don't choose us. And so, you know, a lot of this is two things. One is understanding that what makes someone worthy of your time is someone who's actively pays attention to their character and how they move through the world. And then there's also just the fact that we get obsessed, you know, rejection breeds obsession. So we feel rejected.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah.
Me neither. Oh God, rejection. Damn. Put that on a bumper sticker.
So true.
So then we just get obsessed with the person because we think, well, if they don't want me, you know, maybe they have something that I should have, you know, like maybe, and that's, you know, a lot of times is a self-esteem thing.
But then it also becomes a game. Because like we always
It
talk about
does.
men is like this conquest. We have it too as
Oh,
women.
absolutely.
When
Absolutely.
we're told like we don't like you, then we go, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to show you that you actually do like me, and then you
I'm gonna-
become
Totally. Or it's like the guy that's just giving you crumbs and you're in a situationship, and women do this all the time unconsciously. How can I prove to him that I am the girl that he wants? So she'll be more nurturing, she'll give more, she'll be more understanding. And the irony, the paradox is that the more she's like that, the more he's repelled by her.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. I mean, I used to always joke, it'd be like, if I had social media in my 20s, oh my God, it would have been a full OnlyFans account, you know? Because
Totally.
in my mind, I would have thought that's going to make them, you know,
Yes.
feel stupid seeing me. But it's like, no, that's repellent. Like the
Yeah.
thing that actually makes guys go, oh God, what did I do, is when you fucking disappear. Like
when you don't care, when you're literally like, I care more about me than I do about you, and I'll just
See,
find
Sarah, you're
someone
still
else.
talking about the game. Jillian's saying like when you genuinely are moved on as a person, when you aren't trying to be whatever you think that they need you to be. Like,
no, I know,
the
but
thing
it
that's
takes time
repelling
to
that guy is the
genuinely move on.
desperation.
But to
Yes.
genuinely move on takes time. I'm talking about immediately after a breakup.
Yeah, and also the reason why he's repelled is because men naturally, they want, if someone really, really, really likes you, like really likes you, loves you, wants to be with you, they want to meet your needs. They want to do things for you. But the signal that we give off when we're giving so much to someone where they know, like when that person is like, I'm not giving you much and you keep pouring your energy into me, something must be wrong with you.
That's powerful.
God, guys, they're such fucking assholes. No.
Yeah, people do it.
No,
I
women
know.
do this too. Women do this too.
You lose respect for that person.
Yeah.
You do. You lose respect for them. I'm
Women
giving you
do this
nothing
too.
and you keep pouring your energy into me.
Yeah.
Like that's not something that turns me on. That's not something I can respect.
And it's the same for women.
Oh, but isn't it, don't you think like, do you think that men get the ick the same way that women do? Because
no, women are 10 times worse when
okay,
it comes to
I
the
agree.
ick.
Oh, because I think it's
Per
like you
your show,
cannot
yeah.
rebound from when as a woman, once you are like, oh God, I'm literally treating you like shit and you're still showing up every day with roses, you fucking loser. You know? Like,
Well,
it's
women
like,
have to be much better about the ick. I mean, you have to get the ick from shitty character and not get the ick so much from I don't know, the way he coughed.
Yes. Yeah, it should give you an ick that they like treat the waiter badly. It should give you the
or
ick
treat
that
you
they,
badly, or treat their mom badly, or treat their friend badly. That should give you the ick.
right. If you're getting the ick because he's being really consistent and into you, that's a you problem, probably.
100%.
No, but Sarah, the ick is usually something really small and seemingly meaningless, but for some reason it really bothers you. And I think it's also something that, people have this idea of like, there's a question here. Is there ever really, really a moment when you know that he's the right one? And I would say yes. There's a moment where you're like, all these things are kind of, it's like almost like I picture it's like all the lights go green in the same line. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, they have this, and I feel amazing around them and I want to be around them more. And they bring out the best in me. But that doesn't mean that you aren't going to get the ick from that person sometime. That doesn't mean that you aren't going to see something you don't like. It doesn't mean that it's like every single day they feel right in every category in every area. It's just like, does the good way outweigh the bad? Not like slightly.
Yeah. And knowing and prioritizing what's really important to you. And I think that is the wisdom that comes with being older and dating, is that you actually know what your priorities are. And that's why you're not too late and it's not too old. You're not too old. It actually can get better because you know what it is that you actually need.
So can our like 25-year-olds hack the system, or is it kind of like you can't fake life experience, or can you hack the system?
You can't fake life. Well, I think my advice, and I know that this really varies depending on where people are in the world. Like people in cities tend to get married later in life than in, rural areas. But my advice for your 20s is focus on you more than on a romantic relationship. Like, yes, have experiences, get into a relationship, but focus on what gives your life purpose and meaning, and build, focus on, following like what makes you happy rather than just a relationship.
I have a question.
Yes.
There are a lot of women out there who really want to be a mom, but they have
you're
not
just
met
like
their person.
fully pivoting right now.
No, this is all part of the same question.
Okay, I wanted to like, we were talking to our 20-year-olds and then you went to like being a mom.
Oh, well, I'm just looking at the questions and I feel like the 20-year-olds are going to be okay.
No,
and I feel like this
know.
woman I'm talking about, it's like, more urgent.
Okay. Well, can we just finish the 20s where we tell you guys,
I would love people in their 20s, like, 25-year-olds, especially the girls, don't focus on boys or if you date girls, don't focus on relationships so much. Focus on like developing some passion and some skills and having fun and traveling. And you're never going to feel as free as you do right now in your life.
Yeah. Right. So it's like, we're not telling you don't get into a relationship. Obviously get into your relationships, do all that, but don't
let that be the main theme of your life.
Yeah. Don't let that be the only thing.
Don't pour that whole cup until like you've poured your own. Right. And
yes.
And yeah.
Build yourself up, develop what's like on the inside. Don't make it all about who's loving you or who's not loving you. Learn to love yourself. And you learn to love yourself by exploring the world and focusing on what makes you happy and community and building yourself, capital S. And that's how you learn how to love yourself.
Your 20s are not about who you're loving and who's loving you. Oh my God.
Who's loving you and who's not loving you.
Who's loving you and who's not loving you.
No, that's really... That's a good one. A really good one.
That
I'm
is
glad.
so.
Okay, so skipping a couple decades ahead. No,
Mom.
there's a lot of women out there
Yeah.
who really want to be a mom, and because of our generation prioritizing, career, college, work, taking our time, there are a lot of women who ran out of time.
Yes.
And they are at that place where it's like, my childbearing years are getting to a close. I didn't meet my person.
I
What
wish
do
I froze
do?
my eggs. I tell my girl, I'll tell my
but
daughters.
you have two kids. So you have two kids. So you don't really have a vote here.
I know, but Erin, what if my next chapter is with someone who wants kids? Like, what are you talking about?
Sarah, but it's really different for a woman who's not a mom yet. Like, it's really different. Being a mom and wanting to be more of a mom is so different than not having yet had the experience of procreating and having a child of your own. When you have that instinct in you and you want that, and I had it for many, many years and couldn't get pregnant for so long, it is like this gaping hole in your heart and soul. And even one child fills it up in a way that multiple children
I don't think
different.
motherhood can be minimized anywhere. Of course, that's different. I'm just saying, like, I think we have now the capabilities to, as a woman, to have.
Well, let me.
I just wish somebody would have told me to, do that.
But this
I
is
think
a different
the conundrum
question.
of the modern woman is exactly what you describe. It's, I want a career. I want a purpose. I don't want to just be a homemaker. And I also want to be a mom. And there's a biological clock that's very real. We are not childbearing forever. Yeah,
it's so easy to say to a woman, have a baby by yourself. But I am of the mindset, as someone who did just tens and tens of rounds of IVF and looked at every single different avenue of how to be a mom, you don't want anyone telling you that you should do something that they haven't had to do themselves. Right? If you want to have your own biological child with a partner, then you can't, or you've been able to have that, you can't really tell another person that they should be okay to do it differently in a less satisfactory way. Only if you've done it can you really tell someone else to do that. So what would you suggest if you had a friend, or maybe you do have girlfriends who are like, I want to be a mom, but I don't have a partner. Should I do it alone? Should I choose a partner that's less than I want them to be because I could have a child? Like, this is a real thing.
Having. So I think we should weigh out the pros and cons. One of the pros of being a single mom is that you get to raise the child the way you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's value in that. The cons, I think we all kind of all know the cons, which is it's exhausting. And, I think that I wouldn't recommend a woman doing it alone if she didn't have a support system.
Like a mother, a sister, a brother, whatever.
Family members to help out. I think that's very, very important. Just make sure you have a support system.
That's interesting what you said as a single
enough
mom.
Money to pay for help if you don't have as much of a support system as you need.
Getting to raise your child. I mean, look, I think obviously, ideally, having two parents is okay, great. We've been told that's the ideal, but it is toxic living in a home with two parents who don't agree on how to parent children.
Yes.
That brings in a whole other,
destroys relationships.
Yes, I cannot. And like we said on one of our last podcast episodes, I read this quote from somebody, like, a family operates on one nervous system. And when you're in a home with two parents who are not aligned on parenting, it becomes unhinged.
Yeah.
And that is not something, that is something we don't talk enough about when it comes to deciding who you're going to be with. You guys better be on the same page about how you want to parent, because that's real. And that's not something you think like, oh, we'll deal with that later. No, you will. You better deal with it.
But you also don't know the questions to ask before you've become a parent. Like,
I know.
People say that, but you don't really know what's going to come up. Like, every child is different, and you don't even know what kind of parent you're going to be. I mean, it's kind of hard to know that going in unless that person has clear red flags.
Yeah. And I mean, the best you can do is like talk about schooling and, religion and all that stuff. But yeah, you kind of don't know. I mean, look, I've worked with so many parents because I used to focus on families, but I'm not a parent. But what I know from all the people I've worked with and with my friends who are parents is that it's a whole other, like you confront yourself in a completely new and different way once you become a parent. Like you are confronted by your past, you're confronted by your child, you're confronted by your ego. And it's a real journey of extreme growth.
I mean, you're dealing with that, Sarah. You've got a teen.
Oh no, you guys, it's.
Oh yeah, you have a teenage daughter. Yeah, so mothers and daughters, that's when they're teenagers.
No.
I was a nightmare.
It's the fucking Hunger Games over here. I'm telling you, it is truly like. We'll have to do another parenting episode.
Yeah.
I don't want to bore anybody, but can I ask? I'm 43. I've been with my partner for 5 years. I've helped raise his now 8-year-old. Still no engagement ring or baby. Should I stay? You're 43, 5 years, and you're helping raise his child?
I mean, I don't, but here's the thing. This is what's so interesting about humans and dynamics. I don't know if he's just divorced. They've been together 5
years.
Yeah. But we don't know what kind of conversations they've had.
Yeah, you need so much context. Because what does the ring represent to her? What did he have a traumatic marriage before, and so he's scared to go down that road?
Because I can't advise someone whether they should stay or leave a relationship without a whole lot of context.
Okay, fine. Then this is a good one, and you will be able to answer it. Okay. I am 39. Okay, this is good.
Okay.
I'm 39. How can I answer why I'm not married yet or what's wrong with me? It feels shamey. Okay, this is so real. You go out in the world, you're real. 39. People are like, oh, so what does your husband do?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
How do women?
Why are you single? People love to say that. Why are you single?
It's so rude. It's so rude.
I don't know. There could be a million different answers. It could be maybe you've been putting your focus on other parts of your life and not relationships.
No, I think she's asking, what am I supposed to say?
She wants to know what to say.
Well, say the truth.
None of your fucking business.
I mean, none of your business, or you can say, you can't
be defensive. Because that automatically makes it look like you're.
I would tell the truth. Oh, that's not where I've been putting my energy, or I have a really high standard, or you know what? Like, I met someone, we had a relationship, it was very difficult. Now I'm figuring out what it is that I want. I think the more direct and honest,
those are very healthy answers.
And I think vulnerability is like okay, not like some sob story, but I think it's okay to be like, you know what? I just haven't met the one. I'm hoping I do. You know what I mean? Just like that automatically kind of makes you go like, oh, they're not defensive. They just opened up to me. Yeah. That was honest. Like,
tell the truth, like fuck everything that says like you're supposed to be married by a certain age or this or that. It just tell the truth. Tell the truth to yourself and tell the truth to others, because
I love that. She's like, what should I say? Just tell them the truth.
Yeah. And a lot of people,
I don't know, but if you can figure it out, let me know.
That's good.
But a lot of times people are still single at that age because they haven't. There's a lot of different reasons, but one reason would be that they haven't actually put in the energy towards that.
Okay, why do guys tell you they like you and then disappear?
Because they want to sleep with you.
So true. It's so simple.
Right, that's just a thing, right? Like
so
it's like
simple.
Guys, sometimes
because in the moment he really liked you, and he was caught up in the moment, and you heard those words, because women tend to get turned on through our ears, and we hear all the right things and we make it into a bigger thing that it was. And then the next day comes.
I have a husband who defends love bombing, I think, because he used to love bomb. And so he's always trying to justify it.
How does he justify it?
He's like, what if I meant it at the time?
Yeah, exactly. He is in the moment and he meant it. And then the next day isn't.
He didn't.
But then women make it this whole thing, and she never asks herself, but do I like him? Everything is an obsession with, does he want me? Does he like me? Does he choose me? And I want every woman to pause and be like, wait a second, do I even like him? I'm the
Sometimes
chooser.
It's hard to even know because you just want to be picked.
Exactly. But you have to get out of that mindset. That's the most important thing ever. And because in that moment he liked you, but then the next day comes and the alcohol gets out of your system, or you had sex and, that was it.
You guys, energy is, as I've said before, energy is freaking everything. I know friends who have gone on a date, and in my mind, the girl's like the perfect girl. She's like the smartest, the best job, like the coolest friends, like the prettiest, whatever. Yeah. And the guy will be like, I wasn't into her. I actually really was into blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what? That okay? Like, there's just no,
and you just never know. And it could have been her energy on the date.
Yes,
she could have been
closed
off.
Mm-hmm.
You just never know.
No. Oh man, why is this shit so complicated?
I know, and this is where I want to like inject a little optimism here. Know what you want, love yourself, keep working on your own personal development, and a lot of things fall into place. And learn the skills, learn social skills. A lot of people are very awkward. Learn how to have a conversation with someone and connect with another human being. That's a skill really worth investing time into learning.
So true. Okay, Jillian, this is crazy. Everyone needs to get your workbook. Everyone needs to buy your book. Everyone
listen
needs to
your
listen
podcast.
to your podcast. And
thanks, girls.
I love your straight, very direct advice. It's really helpful,
by the way,
and very usable.
By the way,
I'm
it's
so glad.
optimistic, to be honest, you guys. We don't need to be doing some podcasts where we're just like, he. Like, no, this shit's hard. It's complicated. It's ugly, but there's beauty on the other side. But like, it's okay. So I'm happy
maybe there isn't. Either way, you'll be fine.
And if there isn't, and guess what? If there isn't, you better like be in like the best shape of your life. Because if you are not,
Sarah, it always comes back to the physical for you.
No, what do you mean? It means like self-love.
You do have to love. You gotta take care of your body. You gotta take care of your body.
It's self-love to like lift weights.
Yeah.
It's self-love to be in the best shape of your life. It's self-love to be able to go outside and run a mile without dying of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Like if you're not going to be putting your energy into a relationship, then you better have the best fucking relationship with yourself. And I'm not saying you can't do both.
Yeah.
But like, it's a little bit easier to like, come on, man, be the best version of yourself. Go do that thing.
Or go volunteer somewhere. So you're actually connecting and giving and connecting.
Sarah's not connecting with the whole volunteering thing.
Sarah's
you
like,
go
just
get rid of your cellulite.
I'll be on the treadmill. You go volunteer.
Me too. I'll be like on the yoga mat. How about that?
Oh God.
All right. Jillian, you're great. Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.